send the robot to Sector Gamma.
Acknowledged. Deploying now.
Readings are stable on this side.
We've lost contact with the northern perimeter.
Rerouting satellite feed now. Get me eyes on that secondary blast zone.
Reports confirm multiple detonations across the city. We are showing heavy casualties in Sector 4.
Activate emergency protocols now.
We need to secure the data logs immediately.
Most terminals are showing critical failure. I'm attempting to access the main server core.
Look at the stress fractures on this support column. It's unstable.
I'm logging the data now. We need to secure this area before we proceed.
Thermal readings on screen 4 show the damage is extensive. Cross-reference the structural diagrams. We need a stabilization plan immediately.
Structural integrity on Sector 4 is compromised.
Reroute auxiliary power through the old grid immediately. We can't stabilize until we assess the reactor damage.
Look here. The primary conduits are completely destroyed in this sector.
We'll have to use the secondary network as a bypass, but it won't handle the full load.
If we divert resources through the auxiliary network, we can bypass the damaged conduits within the hour.
Agreed. Push the restoration plan to the field teams immediately.
The damage assessment confirms critical failure in this sector.
We initiate the stabilization protocol immediately.
This weak point here is unacceptable. We must reinforce the structural supports immediately.
Running simulations on the stabilization. Focus on Sector Gamma. The structural integrity is failing here. All right, secure that beam. We need it analyzed now.
This structural fatigue confirms the initial blast point.
Copy that. Send the data back to the command center immediately. We need to revise the restoration plan.
Based on the schematics, this section should have held.
The stress fractures indicate a catastrophic failure. We need to reinforce the entire quadrant during the rebuild.
The structural integrity of the casing is compromised here.
Looks like secondary fragmentation impact. We need to check the turbine mounts next.
Secure that section now. Running the cables on my mark. Watch the support beam, it's unstable.
Seismic sensors are live, confirming connection to the main acquisition unit.
Acquisition unit shows green, ready for data logging on my mark.
Setup is complete. We are live on all channels.
Data acquisition confirms structural integrity is holding steady for now.
Assessment complete, sensors green across the board.
Acknowledged. Team is clear for the next sequence.
Initiate level 2 scan protocols. Focus on the main fissure.
Acknowledged. Deploying sensor package now.
Thermal readings are stabilizing, but the blast pattern indicates a partial detonation. Watch for secondary ignition sources in Sector 4.
Look at the thermal readings here. The core temperature is still too high.
We need to adjust the cooling protocols immediately.
Device connected.
Systems check complete, all green, authorization to proceed. Stand clear of the blast area, confirming all circuits are green.
Negative wind advisory. Final countdown initiated. The sensor array needs recalibration.
Check the connections on this one. The readings were unstable.
Armor plating secure on the left side. Copy that.
We need a replacement bearing for the turret rotation mechanism.
Check the tension on the left track links. It's loose. We need to tighten it. Apply torque to the main bolts now.
Ready to torque the bolts.
Proceed. Make sure it's to specification.
Final checks complete. Button her up.
Loading sequence initiated. Move faster.
All cargo secured, ready for departure.
Secure that pallet, Private. Ratchets engaged, Sergeant. Moving to the next one. Is the netting secure on truck 2?
Affirmative. Moving to the next load.
Check the tension on these straps. Get those crates secured now.
Ramp secure. Bay 3 clear.
All teams mounted, ready to roll. Get those straps tight. We need to roll now. All secure back here.
Finalize the locks on pallet 3. We need to roll in 5.
Locks engaged. Standing by for transport. Range is clear. Stand by for launch.
Hydraulics secure. Guidance systems reading green.
Acknowledged.
Firing sequence initiated. Fire control, confirm elevation status.
Elevation complete. Stabilization confirmed. System is green.
Acknowledged. Stand by for launch. Electrical conduits secure. Hydraulics check complete. System green. Ready for launch sequence.
Conduits connected. Pressure checks complete. Upgrades confirmed. Systems green.
Radar sweep initiated. Targeting calibrated.
Weapons free. Ready for launch command.
Initialize the radar sweep sequence.
Systems are green, ready for launch protocol.
Munitions armed and online.
Status check on auxiliary power.
Auxiliary engaged. Sequence green.
Weapon systems online.
Check the alignment on the primary launch actuators.
Alignment confirmed. All systems show green.
Targeting systems are online and calibrated.
Telemetry check complete. We are green across the board. System is ready.
Diagnostics confirm primary guidance systems are nominal.
Telemetry locked. We are ready for the live fire test.
In breaking news, missile defense systems were activated moments before massive explosions rocked Tehran, causing widespread devastation.
This section here shows the epicenter. The structural failure is immediate.
We need to analyze the metallurgy of this debris.
Section here, the structural integrity failed instantly.
The blast intensity was unprecedented for this type of architecture. The structural failures across the city followed the exact same pattern.
The sheer force indicated by this twisted...
The failure clearly originated at this juncture. See the twist pattern.
Yes, that matches the thermal degradation readings I'm getting now.
This section here shows clear evidence of a secondary detonation.
The thermal residue confirms that, Captain. Look at the energy signature spike.
Look at the trajectory implied by this debris field. It contradicts the official report slightly.
Noted.
I'll update the schematics.
Mark this section here. It's critical for the reconstruction analysis.
Got it. The deformation index is unusually high in this quadrant.
The deformation suggests a shaped charge, likely placed here.
And the secondary collapse matches the seismic data we reviewed.
The fragmentation pattern indicates a secondary explosion.
We need to cross-reference this with the casualty reports from Sector Gamma.
Look at the trajectory here. The shear forces must have been immense.
It confirms the presence of high-grade explosives.
Sheer force required to twist this metal, it's unprecedented.
And the civilian sectors absorbed most of that kinetic energy. We must record this accurately.
The structural failure initiated at this weld point.
And the fragmentation pattern suggests a secondary internal charge.
The force required to twist this metal like that is staggering.
It's a stark reminder of the human cost documented in these photos.
The scanner is picking up residue consistent with RDX on the primary hinges.
That confirms the explosive compound used. Document it precisely.
This wasn't just an external charge. Look at the deformation here.
Agreed. The internal bolts sheared before the main plate blew.
Primary blast door controls were bypassed just before detonation.
And the structural failure confirms a shaped charge was used. This changes everything. The primary blast impact seems to have originated here. We need to confirm the structural integrities.
Check the resonance frequency on that beam. It looks unstable. Running the scan now. Readings confirm high-yield explosive residue.
Laser shows a 12-meter displacement right here.
Okay. We'll need the heavy lift to stabilize Section 3 before we can safely shore this up.
All right, team, let's get a laser profile on that structural beam now. Crane, lift on my mark. We need to check the integrity of the supports.
All right, team, watch that structural beam. Crane, take it up slow.
Confirmed. Lifting. Structure is unstable.
Thermal readings are spiking on grid 4.
Copy that. We need the crane to clear this section now.
Move the crane into position over the impact site. We need to check the stability before we send a team down.
Confirmed. Moving in now. The fractures extend deeper than anticipated. Look at this reading.
Confirmed. Marking coordinates for the stabilization team now.
Stabilize the platform.
All right, start the weld on my mark. Clear the area. Secure the brace. Crane, lift slowly now.
Thermal scan confirms integrity. Proceed with caution.
Tablet shows severe instability on grid 4. Advise immediate reinforcement.
Copy that. Moving the crane into position now. Stand by for stabilization.